Hello everyone, this is Shane with HCCI Protection out here in Denver, Colorado. And I wanted to talk to you about something. I have heard lately that maybe clients do not understand the value that my company brings to the table. And maybe that's why we don't get clients as easily. And while I think that may be a piece of the puzzle, there's a much bigger concern at play. You see, I founded this company in June of 2019 in order to completely and fundamentally change the entire security industry here in the United States. The fact is over 70% of security isn't even security at all. They are unarmed, untrained, ill-equipped, and ill-prepared for facing the emergencies that the public believes that security should be capable of facing. I want you to ask yourself a question really quick. If you are in a public setting, in an environment that has security, what do you expect that security to be capable of doing when there is an emergency? If your answer is respond to the emergency and mitigate the threat or the damages, that would be my answer too. But unfortunately, often our security is being told to do nothing but call 911. You should just save your money and have someone else call 911. When you have security, they should be properly trained, adequately equipped, uniformed professionals that are capable of intervening in an emergency or during a threat in order to mitigate damages and loss of life or injury, or completely stop it altogether, should there be no other choice. That is what security should be able to do. Security is an emergency response force that is there to respond in seconds, not minutes. Now, how are we different? That's a great question I want to answer. HCCI Protection has always paid above the United States average hourly wages to our employees. We have always been higher than $20 an hour. Currently, my employees are sitting at $23+ an hour. On some special contracts, their rates can be $35 to $50 an hour, depending on what is going on. Additionally, even though I'm not even 5 years old quite yet, almost, for over a year and a half, we've had a retirement program with a 2% match. So we are investing in the future and well-being of our employees because we want them to stay with us for a long time. This isn't a job, this is a career at HCCI Protection, and we are invested in the communities and the places that we serve and protect. Again, other benefits that we have as a very young company is we've had an employee loan program since day one. We have always been invested in helping our employees succeed, getting the tools and resources to do their job, or if some sort of financial disaster strikes, we try to come alongside them and support them because they are part of our community at HCCI Protection, and our employees are our most valuable asset. Additionally, in Denver, Colorado, it only takes 16 hours worth of training to become an unarmed security guard. I hate using the word guard, but that's what these people are. They are security guards. Additionally, it only takes 24 hours worth of training to become an armed security guard. Many only doing the weapons qualification, like the law enforcement basic pistol qualification, which is not even stress-induced. It's a very poor quality weapons qualification that does not even depict real-life stress-induced scenarios that you will be faced with should you sadly ever have to pull your weapon in the line of duty and make the unfortunate choice to have to end a life to preserve other innocent lives. Our weapon qualification course ranges from 7 yards to 25 yards. For those of you that would like some math, that is 21 feet to 75 feet worth of distance that they have to use to qualify for their weapons use with our company. If they do not qualify, they don't get a job with our organization. Even during our yearly requals, if by chance one of our employees fails their requal, we pull them completely out of the field. They are no longer allowed to work in a duty capacity with our company until they pass their weapons qualification. You might ask why. Well, the serious answer to that is, if they can't pass their weapon qual, they are a liability not only to my company, but to the public we serve. And we take our duty to the public extremely serious. Now, in that weapons qual, there are malfunction drills built into it at random intervals. We will randomly slip specially created fake rounds for training that will simulate a double feed or a stovepipe or some other kinds of malfunctions. And they don't know when this is going to happen. It just happens. And they have to work through these malfunctions during the live fire drill. Additionally, at one point, they were running from the 25-yard line diagonally across a 15-yard wide range to the 10-yard line at a dead sprint. Then they have to draw and engage 3 rounds on target. Then they have to sprint across the 15-yard wide range and engage with another target. These are just some examples of the stress-induced training that my team has to go under in order to qualify as an HCCI security professional and be employed with our company, because our dedication to the public and the service that we provide is an extremely serious career path and job and obligation. We are there to prevent damages and stop them when they become a reality. Additionally, we are certified law enforcement instructors in 4 different disciplines: Orcut Police Nunchaku training, law enforcement Krav Maga-based defensive tactics training, pepper ball training, and ASP training. This is incorporated into our employees' training. Additional topics that we cover, also required by the law in Denver, Colorado: communication protocols and procedures, interacting with law enforcement, security roles and duties of a security professional, and escalation and de-escalation. Built into that are a lot of other topics and some proprietary made training programs that we use to build better professionals. Additionally, throughout the year and years of our employees being with us, there is retraining and training opportunities, and we also engage in other opportunities for them to get additional education and training. One such program that I'm happy to stand behind is the CP Journal Left of Bang training, based on the Marine Corps Combat Hunter program and book Left of Bang by Patrick Vaden-Horn and his business partners. It is a great training program they have developed for law enforcement and security professionals, and we use that with all of our professionals about 6 months into their time with us. After they've passed their probationary period, we want to give them something else to engage their minds and their brains and help them develop a better vocabulary for the job that they do and learn how to put thought processes to the vocabulary for the actions they take. So you might ask what the difference is between HCCI Protection and other security guard companies. For one, we are invested in our employees. They are our most valuable asset. If we take care of them, they will take care of you, and I prioritize their well-being. We constantly seek to update their training to keep them proficient and well adept in the industry that they work in. Their training standards far exceed the legal requirements in our region. Again, 16 hours for unarmed, 24 hours for armed. Since day one, we have always been at 30 or more hours of training. Going into year 2 to starting about 4.5 years, we were between 32 and 40 hours worth of training to become certified with our organization. And after this year, in October of 2023, we became the very first security company in the near 40-year history of the Orcut Police Nunchaku program, called the OPN. It is an arrest control and defensive tactics and joint manipulation less than lethal tool that we use with our professionals. We became the very first security company in the nation to ever be certified instructors and be allowed to actually carry and use the product. That has now increased our training about 16 hours. We just ran through our very first training with our employees, and that training came out to about 46 to 52 hours worth of training for our employees, adding in the new training program. So our training program more than doubles the legal requirement in the city of Denver for our professions. And we are in the progress of creating a 4-week training program that will include medical certification training, additional weapons training, tactical emergency casualty care training. It will involve more extensive defensive tactics training and the roles and duties of a security professional, along with the other legally required topics that we have to discuss. So the value that we bring to the table far exceeds what many other organizations are doing for their security professionals. All the while, many of them are still paying under $20 an hour for their security professionals. we have always, for all of our professionals, been above 20. Now, in some of my most recent hires, this is what I'm hearing about other security firms, which I will keep nameless. Shane, we have never had hands-on weapons training with any other security company we have worked for. We have been certified as a armed security guard. We have had a license for armed security guard in Denver, but we never had hands-on weapons training. That has been said by many professionals. Shane, I never had to shoot a weapons qualification. My supervisor took my gun and shot it for me. I never had to do this. This was very challenging, but realistic. Thank you for teaching us. Shane, I have never had hands-on defensive tactics training, arrest control training, expandable baton training. This was very enlightening. I feel more capable and confident in doing my job now. I can't believe I've never learned this. Shane, with my other companies, we were told to do nothing in the event of an emergency but call 911. In fact, we were told if we did anything to help prevent the damages of the threat, we would be fired for doing our job. So, HCCI is different. We are different because we are truly here to do the real job of being an armed security professional. Our primary job is to integrate into your culture or community and serve you from within, to learn about your dynamics and how you run so that we can help prevent the internal threats from becoming a reality, as well as be a very visible, professional face of your organization or company to face with your clients, employees, businesses, contractors, and whatnot, so that we are the visible show of force that is the deterrent that if your facility is being sought out, we can prevent it from happening in the first place. Most threats that happen in unprotected locations because criminals don't want stopped until they have fulfilled their plan. By having an armed security professional, you are drastically reducing the likelihood of your organization being the victim of a real threat. And if that threat does become a reality, every second counts. Do not waste precious seconds by waiting minutes for law enforcement to arrive. When you hire the proper security professional, we're there to interact and get threat mitigation right away, while being capable and willing to work with our law enforcement professionals when they arrive so that we can work as a team to make sure you are safe. When you are choosing security companies, it is very, very important that you understand the real training that their employees go through, the real investment they have in their professionals and the lives of their professionals, as well as the fact of what they are compensated. I understand that some of you think that this should be an entry-level job, but I want you to ask yourself something. Do you want somebody making $16 per hour protecting your children at school? Do you really think that an individual making $16 per hour is going to have the moral integrity, the dedication, the training, and the capability of putting themselves between a lethal threat and your child? I can tell you from firsthand experience, having managed a security company here in Denver, Colorado, that 90% of the employees in that company that were making less than $16 an hour told me, as a supervisor for that organization, that they are looking out for mano uno, and that they are not going to help the client in the event of an emergency or an active shooter or a bomb or a fire, that they are looking out for themselves and they are getting the hell out of Dodge because they are not paid enough to care for that. At HCCI Protection, our goal is to hire real professionals that have the moral integrity, the fiber, the charisma, and the character to stand between the threat and you. And there is a reason that we cost far more than almost any other company in the Denver metro area, because we are truly there to become an integrated member of your community, an asset and a resource to protect your life, liberty, property, your business, your future, your livelihood, and your way of making income. Your families and your children depend on you, and you need to make this choice, the correct choice, the first time. If you want to see how we can make the ultimate difference in your safety and security, contact me at shane@hcciprotection.com, 720-476-0312, or stop by our office, schedule an appointment and stop by our office and we will be happy to sit down and talk with you to do a free assessment over your organization and help you address the real realities of the threats and dangers that you are facing. There is no other company that will stand beside you and in front of you during your times of crisis and peace than HCCI Professional Protective Services. When seconds count, why wait minutes? Call us today.